Minor adjustments are dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men or women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary in their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Everybody say anywhere but backwards. The words in that mission statement, it says to obtain, and the other one is maintain. Listen to me. To obtain means to come into the possession of something. Maintain means to keep it in existence. Listen. The reason why I say that, everybody say to obtain my sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it. Say to obtain our sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it.
Oh, good day, man. Oh, man. All right, welcome to another minor adjustments group. We're about to do a minor adjustments walkthrough. So this is something that I always was trying to get back to doing. Matter of fact, this is something that I have to get back to doing because I have been neglecting my own lives on minor adjustments. So we're going to go through, I'm just going to do a brief synopsis of some things that we do for the minor adjustment program. Just bear with me one moment while I share this video with everybody. And then we're just going to go discuss some stuff for minor adjustments. I got a lot of stuff that I want to go over. But we'll get to all that in a minute. Let me see what I got here. So don't forget to check out our website, a minor adjustment website, when you get the opportunity to go over there and see everything that we have on the website. We got a new website actually, and it's very got a lot of stuff you can see. You can see some videos on there. You got some testimonies on there. You can purchase books from there. There's a lot you can do on our website. To God be the glory. Thank you for going on there. Everybody that checks it out when they have the opportunity to. So right now we're going to go over something I've been doing. Been thinking about so much things that I've been wanting to do with the minor adjustments workbook. But I'm gonna hook y'all up today. Today we're gonna go over some stuff. One of the things, the minor adjustment mission statement. The minor adjustment mission statement is minor adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. And our primary purpose is to teach men or women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary in their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Now, I want to take apart the mission statement for a minute. It says we are dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. And our primary purpose is to prevent individuals from doing all the stuff that they used to do. If we can prevent people from doing it or going back to it, then we want to do that. So one of the things in that mission statement, there are two words, and they are to obtain and to maintain. To obtain and to maintain. So these are, let me see if I can pull it up here. No, I can't put it up there right now. But the two key words in the mission statement says minor adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men or women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary in their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. So the word obtain means to come into the possession of something, and the word maintain means to keep it in existence. And no matter what week or what class or what group I'm doing minor adjustments for, I always let them know that to obtain your sobriety is actually the easy part. And the reason why I say that that part is actually easy is because you can go to a program or a judge tell you we're about to sentence you to some prison time, and you'll go to a program just to get out of the sentence from the judge. Watch this. When you go to that program, you actually obtain your sobriety, right? But it was motivated from different reasons. Now, that's one scenario. If you go another year later after a relapse and you want to get back into good standards with your spouse or with your children, you might stop using substances then, and you might obtain your sobriety that way. Or sometimes you might just get motivated on your own and say you're going to take abstinence. When we're doing intakes, or in New Jersey Sands, when we're doing an assessment or intake with a client, one of the questions is, what motivated your last period of abstinence? Yeah. Or how long was your last period of abstinence? And the reason why people have different periods of abstinence is because they are motivated from different things. The point I'm trying to make, to obtain that sobriety, no matter what was motivating it, to obtain that sobriety, it was the easy part. The challenge is to maintain it. That's why in the minor adjustments mission statement, the two words, if you ever looked at it in the book, or if you ever asked me about it, why those two words are so big in the mission statement, is because to maintain means to keep something in existence. So whatever coping skills an individual might need, relapse prevention skills, spiritual development, whatever they might need to maintain their sobriety, that's what we focus on, putting emphasis on, if you will, on what can I give you, or how can I motivate you, or how can I get you to engage or to look within yourself. What can we get from within you that will help you maintain your sobriety? Because, like I said, over and over and over again, you have obtained your sobriety. But I believe that a lot of individuals are putting too much effort and too much emphasis on obtaining sobriety, when they're not putting the same amount of effort and emphasis on maintaining that sobriety. Let me use my own self and tell you my own story. In August 2009, I obtained my sobriety from 22 years of struggling with drugs. The same thing that I did the year I obtained my sobriety, or the month I obtained my sobriety, my daily devotion, my prayer, building my resources, putting myself around people who will hold me accountable. There's a host of things that I was doing initially in August 2009 after I obtained my sobriety that I still do today. Why do I do that? Because I want to maintain the sobriety that I received in August 2009. Again, the minor adjustments mission statement says minor adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men and women how to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. To God be the glory. Do you know that the Minor Adjustments Facebook page, To God be the glory, has now, we are being in the position to get stars. And you can support us by sending us stars. They help me earn money to keep making content you love. It's easy. If you look at the live that we do on the Minor Adjustments page, if you look down there where the hearts are, where the like button is, and the other emojis, we are now able, thanks to all of you guys. Thanks for our page growing, and thanks for y'all commenting and sharing and liking the content that we put on our page. We are now able to get stars. So if you hit the stars, you can give us stars, and you can donate a little bit of money to our organization, and we can keep creating like we have been doing. To God be the glory, man. So let me read something. I want to read something. It's called a short story. This is a true story, and I love a good story, especially a short story. So I'm gonna read this. This is actually in the Minor Adjustments book. Let me tell you a little about the person that wrote the story. I mean, that's in the story. The person in the story, when I was incarcerated, when the first time I was in prison, I came across a man named, we called him Mr. Mike. Mr. Mike is a lifer. He's still currently in prison. To the from the last time I checked, he still was. He was a lifer. He was in prison. He wasn't going home. But anyway, this is the short story. Every time I would go to prison, I would go to prison and I would come home. I would get locked back up, go to prison again, and every time, no matter what prison I would go to or they sent me to, I would run into Mr. Mike. So he will try to pour things into me, talk to me, and everything. So this short story is about him. Excuse me. It says, I love a good story, especially a true story. I am always interested in all types of different people from different walks of life. I am as interested in their mess up as well as their successes. I want to know how they ended up where they are and how they fell from where they were. This short story is about two different men that ended up in the same place for two different reasons. One was young and reckless. The other one was old and wise. The young man got locked up in the 90s for selling drugs in his community and ended up in prison at Mountain Youth Correctional Facility. Due to him living so far from there, he received a visit hardship transfer, which landed him in Riverfront State Prison. Now, once he got there, he was put into a cell with this older inmate, whom we will call Mr. Mike. Now, this older man first got to know the younger man to find out what crimes he committed and also to find out how much time he had to do. Then he explained to the younger man that he was in prisons for murder and that he was never going home. God almighty, man, I can see this clear as day. So as the years are going by, Mr. Mike will always take parts of his day and talk to this young man and tell the young man that he has to change his direction about what to do with his life. Watch these words: inside prison, and not wait until he got home to try to change his course. Look, listen to me, child of God. I got to pull over, pause, and park. If a person is in some type of rehabilitation center, in prison, in a program, or anything, if they are still continuing to break the rules while they are inside, you can almost guarantee that when they get on the outside, they will break rules. This is one of the minor adjustments things, keys that I point out when I'm teaching about the minor adjustments program. But let me keep going. So the time came for this young man to be paroled, and Mr. Mike just kept reminding him about what he told him. And he said to the young man, remember, if you keep committing crimes, they will keep locking you up. And sooner or later, they will lose the keys that they lock you up with. So about 6 months goes by, and the young man was returning to Riverfront State Prison, watch this, with new charges and another sentence to do. And you wouldn't believe it, but guess who was still there? Mr. Mike. So the two never got to be in the room again, but they will always sit and talk about life inside and outside the prison. The young man would sit and listen to Mr. Mike and hear every word spoken out of his mouth. And the young man was amazed at the fact that Mr. Mike would have his back to the person he was playing in chess, at the same time giving the young man some knowledge about life. Mr. Mike would just ask his competitors what move they just made, and he would instruct someone to move his pieces to so-and-so, and he will win all day that way. Again, the years went by, and now the young man was being paroled to a halfway house. Mr. Mike, as always, would say to the young man, remember what I said, So the young man went to the halfway house, messed around, got sent back to prison because of violating the rules. So he went to Northern State Prison, as said, to do his time. And then after he finished this time, he was sent back to Riverfront State Prison. And again, Mr. Mike was still there. Mr. Mike says, so as always, they would sit and talk. The young man would listen and watch Mr. Mike playing chess. So one day, Mr. Mike told the young man to play basketball on his team. So the young man was on the basketball team Mr. Mike coached. They eventually won a championship in prison together, and the years went past, and it came time again for the young man to be paroled. So he goes home, watch this, and he does the same thing. He received more times for selling drugs and robbery. But by this period, they had built a new prison in Brixton, New Jersey called Southwood State Prison. So the young man was sent there, and if he didn't have anything consistent in his life, it was his repeated failure and Mr. Mike. Why did I say that? Because Mr. Mike was at Southwood State Prison. No lie. And out of all the things that Mr. Mike told this young man from the years they were together, it was what he said to this young man this time that changed him forever. Mr. Mike said to him, all I want is one chance at getting out of prison, and you have received multiple chances, and you don't even cherish them. The young man was eventually released from Southwood State Prison in 2005. He went through the Bo Robinson program, and then he was sent to the Kentucky group. And after there, he graduated from America's Colony of Mercy in 2010. But he never returned to that lifestyle again. And the reason why he never returned was because of the grace of God and because of what he learned from Mr. Mike and in those programs. He finally applied all of it to his life, and he made minor adjustments in his life that was necessary. And that same young man is who you have on this live video with you today. Now, I read that short story is because the short story was clearly about me. But what made it so powerful is that I got my sobriety, or I got my freedom, but I had to learn how to maintain that freedom. Mr. Mike says, I received multiple chances at getting out of prison, but I didn't cherish them. Today, I just want you to understand that the minor adjustments motto is anywhere but backwards. Anywhere but backwards. To attain your freedom or to attain your sobriety, watch this, that's the easy part. The challenge is to maintain it. In order for you to go anywhere but backwards, you will have to learn the necessary relapse prevention skills, life skills, spiritual development, whatever it's needed to maintain your freedom or to maintain your sobriety. Again, this is just me jumping on here. And like I said, you can always go to the Minor Adjustments website or the Facebook page and see all the things that we have coming up. We will be doing minor adjustments every Friday all over the country. We are so focused on helping individuals, and we love and need your support because we have big visions and big dreams. And again, remember, anywhere but backwards. Again, whenever you see me going live, look down there by the emojis where the stars and the hearts are, or where the like buttons and the hearts are. We are now able to get stars, and when you get stars, you're able to donate certain certain amounts of money to our organization. To God be the glory. Thank you for all your support out there. I love what God has called me to do, and more importantly, I love that you support me too. To God be the glory, man.